this next one, before I can apply the power rule, I need to change the fraction here with the x on the denominator into an indice. So this will become 9x to the minus 3. Negative indices is on the bottom of a fraction. And now I can use my power rule to find the derivative dy dx. Minus 3 out the front is minus 27. 1 off the power, minus 4. This is one of the most common mistakes. Students often write minus 2 there, adding 1 instead of subtracting 1, so be careful of this indice part. Now I want to evaluate this derivative at the place where x equals minus 1. Minus 27, minus 1 to the minus 4. This is a little bit more difficult to do in my head. Some people need to see it as a fraction, so you might need to see this as minus 27 over x to the 4th, and then you just realise that the negative indice is on the bottom of a fraction. Because we're working out at 1, it's actually not going to change anything, so my answer will be minus 27. Sometimes this form will help you evaluate it. Of course, you can type in on your CAS or your normal calculator, and in that case the negative indice is fine. Again, similar to the fraction question before, I need to turn this into an indice. So the index form of a square root is a power of a half, so this is 12 x to the power of a half. Now I can find my derivative, dy dx, using my power rule. Half out the front, so it's a half of 12, which is 6. X, 1 off the power, is a half minus 1, which is minus a half. It's also a very common place for an arithmetic error with fractions. So of course the negative indice means it's on the bottom of a fraction, so this is actually 6 over x to the half. And we know from before that a half is a square root, so this is actually 6 over the square root of x. That will help because when I want to do my next step, which is evaluate this derivative at the place where x equals minus 1, what I have here is 6 over the square root of minus 1. At this stage we cannot find the square root of a negative number. It doesn't exist in our real number system. So in this case we would say the derivative does not exist. At minus 1.